What if you came home from a month in the wild, only to find your house stolen, your life erased, and your own neighbors mourning your death? That's exactly what happened to me. I left for a 27-day survival trip, battling nature with nothing but a backpack and my wits. I didn't expect to return to a war zone in my own neighborhood, orchestrated by one woman with a clipboard and a vendetta, Linda Harper. She didn't just steal my home, she declared me legally dead, forged city records, staged a fire, and tried to turn my life into her personal monument. But she picked the wrong guy to bury. It was dusk when I parked half a block from my house. Something felt wrong. The street was too quiet, too polished, like the neighborhood was holding its breath. I'd been gone 27 days, no phone, no signal, just me, the woods, and a bag full of knives, maps, and instincts I thought I'd buried years ago. As I rounded the corner, my house stood there, but it wasn't mine anymore. The walls were the same, the windows caught the fading light, but my name, my existence, had been wiped clean. The lawn was mowed too short, not my style. My security sign was gone, replaced by a laminated placard staked into the dirt. Property temporarily managed by HOA, pending reassignment. My heart didn't race, it sank heavy, cold. Caution tape crisscrossed the boarded windows. The door had a shiny new lock, and a notice with the HOA's seal was taped across it like a tombstone. Declared abandoned. A voice broke the silence. Mr. Callahan? It was my neighbor, Tom Grayson, the guy who mows his lawn at 6:01 a.m. sharp. He stepped back, eyes wide. They said you were gone. There was a memorial. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. I marched to the porch, tried the door deadbolt, not mine. My cameras were gone, wires clipped clean. Motion lights, disabled. Someone had gutted my home's defenses, and I knew who. Linda. For months she'd been circling like a vulture, snapping photos while pretending to check mailboxes, asking neighbors if they'd seen suspicious activity. She wanted my house, my land. And now she thought I was out of the picture, dead, missing, whatever. Fine. Let her think that. Because the second I stepped off that porch, I wasn't just coming home. I was going to war. I circled the house like I was casing an enemy compound, slow, silent. Everything was wrong. The hedges were trimmed with surgical precision. My porch mat, the one with my wife's name stitched in the corner, was gone, replaced by a generic "Welcome HOA visitors" mat. My camera's wires dangled like severed arteries. The utility box was pried open, gutted. My entire security grid had been ripped out. Then I heard her, Linda, leading a group of guests down the sidewalk, her pastel blazer screaming authority, clipboard in hand, HOA badge pinned to her collar. This lot will be our new community garden, she chirped, while VYing at my yard. Tragic what happened, but we're grateful the board acted fast to preserve the space. I ducked behind the garage before she saw me. My fist clenched so hard my knuckles popped. Preserve the space? I slipped into the alley, checked the back gate, new padlock, wood pressure washed, repainted, like they were scrubbing me out of existence. Even my blackout blinds were gone. She'd been inside. She'd stripped my home. And she'd made it look official. I crossed to the community bulletin board, where HOA flyers were plastered like propaganda. The top one screamed, "Homeowner deceased. Temporary custody initiated. Filed by HOA Chairwoman Linda M. Harper. Supporting document? A death certificate signed by some Dr. J.P., verified associate. She forged my death. Linda didn't just steal my house, she was building an empire on lies. But she didn't know I'd come back from the woods sharper, colder, ready. This wasn't personal, Anna Marie, it was tactical. She wanted a garden? I'd burn her world down first. I went to the old neighborhood forum, a digital cesspool I'd ignored for years. I thought it was just petty gripes about grass height. I was wrong. Pinned at the top, HOA Community Reclamation Auction. Tomorrow. Recovered belongings from unclaimed property for sale. Attached was a PDF page after page of my life, catalogued like junk. My wife's blue porcelain tea set, hand-painted in Kyoto, labeled Lot 47, Sentimental. Our wedding album, spread open on a folding table. Photo archive, Lot 18. My grandfather's World War II pocket watch. Vintage item, potential resale value. I slammed my laptop shut, pulse roaring. This wasn't control. This was desecration. Linda had reduced my family's memories to garage sale trinkets, all under the guise of community wellness. I stood, pacing, nails digging into my palms. She thinks I'm dead? Good. The man she tried to erase wasn't coming back to negotiate. He was coming to destroy her. I reopened the laptop, found the auction flyer's fine print. Filed by Linda M. Harper. Approval, Protocol 5C. I knew the bylaws 5C didn't exist. She'd invented it to bypass consent, declared me dead, and was selling my life for profit. This was war by paperwork, and she didn't expect me to fight back fluent in her language. Past midnight, I lay flat behind shrubs across from my house, dressed in black, breathing shallow. My thermal binoculars caught movement 3 figures, flashlights off. One fumbled with a toolbox by my breaker panel. I recognized her walk instantly. Linda, no pastel tonight, just black, clipboard still in hand. She crouched, whispering, "Cut the main, rub ash on the casing. Make it look scorched." She was staging a fire. My jaw clenched so tight I thought my teeth would crack. Another figure, probably Stan from the HOA board, dragged a bag of leaves and insulation toward the foundation vent. "Rodent nest," Linda muttered. "Electrical hazard. That'll lock the property for good." I recorded every word, every step. Thermal, night VY shown, audio synced. Linda had graduated from forgery to sabotage. She wanted my house condemned, erased, rebuilt as her legacy. "Leave the panel open," she said, checking her watch. "We'll call in a neighbor report tomorrow. Gas smell, burnt wiring. Inspector by lunch." They packed up, casual, no guilt. Linda laughed as they left. "Honestly, I did this place a favor. No one wanted his bunker paranoia." I watched them vanish, my house flickering behind them like a wounded animal. She thought she was winning. Let her. I wasn't here to stop her halfway. I was here to document her collapse. By sunrise, my house was a crime scene. Orange cones, yellow tape, a city inspector poking around with a fake frown. Linda hovered on the sidewalk, clipboard tucked tight, smile too wide. "It's tragic," she told him. "But I warned him. Old systems are dangerous." She patted her chest, faking emotion. I sat across the street in a camp chair, hoodie up, sunglasses on, just another guy sipping coffee. No one recognized me. Then she said it, loud for the neighbors. "He was reclusive, always tinkering in that shed. We thought he left town, but then the silence. The smell. She was inventing decay." I nearly crushed my thermos. Let her lie. Let her sell my life one fake tear at a time. I had her on VYD cutting power, staging a fire, laughing. All uploaded to secure clouds, time-stamped, labeled. I wasn't improv VY-sing. I was engineering. That night, I pitched a tent in the park across from my house, in full VYEW of Linda's project. To them, I was a drifter, a nobody. Perfect. HOA bylaws said public space was fair game unless I broke rules. I poured coffee, stared at my stolen home, and waited. Linda passed by, paused, a flicker of unease crossing her face. She shook it off, kept walking. Let her feel safe. I was done playing dead. I didn't sleep. My laptop glowed in the tent, files spread like a war map, screenshots, clips, archived HOA documents. I started a spreadsheet. Victims of Linda. Mr. Hensley, forced out after Linda reclassified his yard as shared space. Mrs. Lopez, whose shed was demolished over a fence dispute. The Carter family, made to repaint their home for unauthorized colors. Then, Ellen Mayfield, a widow who baked for the neighborhood. 3 years ago, Linda claimed her porch swing violat. Noise rules. Ellen. Relocated. No one saw her again. I opened an anonymous email account and sent a question to old neighbors. Ever lose your home or property under pressure from HOA chairwoman Linda Harper? By noon I had 5 replies. By evening 14. One hit hard. I knew someone would come back. She took everything from us. You're not the first. Linda wasn't enforcing rules, she was hunting the vulnerable, the quiet, the alone. She didn't just steal my house, she'd been waging war on this community for years. At dawn, a flash drive slid under my chair, no note, just a hooded figure vanishing down the sidewalk. I plugged it into a backup laptop, offline, isolated. Inside, HOA emails, Slack chats, private forum posts. Linda's voice in every line. Don't CC legal. I'll handle it. Site 5C. No one reads the charter. She'd seized 4 other properties using her fake clause. A subfolder. Target homes strategy. Mapped the neighborhood homes circled, labeled. Retired, no family, veteran, paranoid. Mine read. Sir VY Valist, unstable, shed may contain weapons. Accelerate seizure. She'd profiled me, turned my solitude into a threat. The last file. Mayfield relocation. Ellen didn't leave. She was erased, her swing labeled a violation, her home reassigned to community use. My hands shook, not fear, fury. Linda was a predator in a blazer, building an empire on stolen lives. But now I had her playbook. The cul-de-sac was her stage, that morning, folding chairs, HOA banners, a podium draped in patriotic beige. Linda stood tall, microphone in hand, beaming like she was unveiling a monument. Thank you for coming, she cooed. We've endured a loss. A quiet resident tragically passed, Leah VYing a property in disarray. She gestured to my taped-up home. Under Protocol 5C, we've taken steps to repurpose it. I stood at the back, hoodie up, Unmo VYing. She didn't see me. I'm proud to announce the Linda M. Harper Wellness Annex and Green Belt, she said, waiting for applause. Silence. A community space free from clutter and non-compliance. I stepped forward. Whispers spread. You declared me dead, I said. Gasps rippled. I dropped the hood, pulled off my sunglasses. Linda froze, her clipboard slipping. That's impossible, she whispered. You forged documents, sabotaged my home, sold my family's memories like trash. I raised the flash drive. You used a fake clause to steal 5 homes. You erased a widow. Linda stammered. This man is a trespasser. I smiled. I have my deed. I handed it to Mrs. Rivera, a quiet neighbor Linda once fined for wind chimes. She flipped through it, eyes wide. I plugged the drive into Linda's projector, meant for her renderings. Instead, it showed her cutting power, faking a fire, laughing about the bunker guy. The crowd erupted, not applause, outrage. Linda dropped her clipboard, backed away. The screen froze on her smirk, bolt cutters in hand. You cut someone's power, said Mr. Doyle, a retired cop. That's criminal. Linda grabbed the mic. This is edited. Slander. I stepped closer. Which part? The fake fire or my wedding photos as Lot 47? The crowd turned. You said Hensley moved for health, someone shouted. 5C isn't real, another yelled. I handed out my deed. This house was never yours. You preyed on this neighborhood. Linda's voice cracked. I maintained order. You let this place rot. No, I said. We let you rot. The crowd surged, not violent, just done. They held up letters, fines, threats, lies. Mrs. Rivera waved one. Do law 300 for string lights. Linda's son, Ethan, muttered. She said we were SAVYing the community. I met his eyes. You don't save by stealing. Linda crumpled against the podium. This isn't fair. Fair, I said. Would have been me pressing charges days ago. The HOA board's only bold member, Clara, stepped up. Linda Harper is suspended, pending investigation. Linda gasped. You can't! I built this! Not on lies, I said. The crowd turned away, one by one, Leah vying her alone on her stage, a queen without a kingdom. But I wasn't done. The next morning, my inbox overflowed dozens of stories mirroring mine: intimidation, fake violations, forced exits. We filed a CIVYL suit even plaintiffs, 14 charges, from forgery to unlawful entry. Within a week, Linda was served on her porch. She read the summons and sank into a chair, exhaling defeat. The HOA voted in the Linda clause, banning abusive leaders. Even her allies turned. Her treasurer, Stan, exposed her funneling HOA funds for personal use: tactical vests, fake signs. You built a dictatorship, he said. She mumbled. I did what was needed. You served yourself, I replied. By Friday, her car was gone. By Monday, a for sale sign stood in her yard. She vanished without a word. We rebuilt Mrs. Rivera's lights went up. Hensley's son painted his dad's house bold red. We hung a swing in the park, creaking like Ellen's. One evening, a city clerk delivered an envelope from Linda. Inside, a typed non-apology. Any discomfort was regrettable. But at the bottom, handwritten, faint, I was wrong. I folded it away, not for forgiveness, but proof she cracked. That night, we celebrated no speeches, just chairs, lights, and a clipboard-shaped piñata. I swung, it shattered, and laughter roared. Linda thought she'd rule with rules, but she gave us a reason to fight. I didn't just get my house back, I got my neighbors. And a vow: never let the quiet be erased again. What would you do if someone stole your life and called it charity?